Hey, welcome to Select. Today's exercise is the rear delt raise. Reverse dumbbell flies, bent over dumbbell reverse flies, bent over dumbbell reverse rear delt flies. You get the drift. You're just bending over and you're raising dumbbells out to the side. It seems pretty simple, but there is some complexities to it. That's what I'm going to discuss with you. So the movement is going to look like this. Let me see if I got to... Yep, 2 7.5s. Remind me, Emma, never to tell the weights in the future. Joking. These are actually 15s. They're made of lead, 15 kilos per hand. So that movement looks like this. Okay, it's as simple as that. I'm going to do some variations of it. We can see it from the front too, right? Real simple movement pattern. But to explain that a tiny bit, you could probably see that based upon the lever of action, right? So the lever of action, this is the most challenging position for it. Therefore, you probably want to spend more time under tension out here. There's no tension here, right? But you want to spend maybe more time under tension out here. So if someone can actually go out here and pause, that's probably the best weight that you're going to use for it. The problem with that is that little 7.5, when it gets so many feet from the body, turns into acting like 60 pounds, right? So you can see the issue that unfolds in gyms is that there's no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pound increment. If they are, they're colored and they're at the YMCA and they're probably not at our gyms. That's not a kid on the YMCA. It's actually beneficial because we used to have micro weights like that. Although they were colored, so we used to make fun of people, but it was fun because they want to get stronger, yada, yada. But you can see that's a problem we have. So the best prescription for it is just going to try to have good intent, but a 1-0-1-0 tempo with lots of reps, right? Because it's going to allow us to get lots of time spent up in that area. So just think about that, right? Although I'm not out there and I can't hold it due to load, I'm probably going to try to spend as much time as possible when I'm out there, okay? So with the lever being so long, remember the load has to be tiny. This is an exercise that if you get above 20s using this, you're either doing a bodybuilding competition or you're super, super strong. You're cheating. You're just, swinging dumbbells. You get my drift, right? Because if it's done effectively, the load should not go over 12, 15 pounds if you do it effectively. That's for everyone, okay, if it's done effectively. Based upon time under tension, remember because the lever being so long and because I'm only using smaller muscles, that should give you an indication as to what, repetition range and where it should fit in exercises. So you're never going to do a 2-rep max of reverse delt raise, right? I hope that makes sense to you. And the reason for that is the length of the lever and the size of the muscles that are being used. When the lever's so long, the muscles are small, you're going to spend a lot of time in what's called tonic exercise activity. Those are muscles that are made to stabilize or be more enduring, and they're not, supposed to be put into really high load situations. Those muscles are used with the lat and other bigger muscles, maybe like the rhomboid as well, when you do rowing activities. But look at the difference in lever. So when I row, look at that, right? The difference from my elbow to my shoulder. Therefore, bigger load, higher weight, more muscles, bigger muscles being used, right? But now the lever goes out here. It's basically just a one-joint activity now, right? So I'm not able to use this joint and this joint. I'm using only the shoulder joint to do the movement, hence the loads will be super low. Okay, that's my kick on the load to make sure you know what ranges you're in. Even to give you some things to work with, you get into the 30 to 60 second range for most people in this for time under tension per set, and you're going to knock it out of the park. So you could actually time people based upon their speed and figure out where they start getting tired. In a lot of cases, you'll see a couple of things happening when people get tired. You'll see the little bop, right? So just watch. I'll do a couple of reps so it'll be correct. And then when they get tired, you're going to see this, right? See this little bop thing happening? And that's basically just trying to use a little English to move the weight. It's just human nature. Don't worry about it. They're not going to get so messed up or hurt when they do the movement. Just be cautious of the fact that they're now getting outside of the range that's comfortable for time under tension. You also may see some inefficiencies happening, right? So you may see this kind of thing happening over time. You can't see it from the side there, but what was happening is that if you were looking down on me from here, my arms were going, this guy was going down to the side and this guy was coming up. So Whenever you see that imbalance happening from the back or from the side, it generally means that that same side trap, upper trap, is taking over. It's not a bad thing, but it generally means that this guy wants to do all the work. So it pins the scapula real close to the body so that those muscles can be used. And over here, the guy just stays back and says, okay, I can be a supporting mechanism to allow you to do the movement that you want to do. So that should preempt what you should have as a goal for cueing when people do it, is you want a long neck, and you want, depending upon the line of action, you want the arms not going directly to the side in most cases, because that's going to result in a higher upper trap usage. You want actually them going back to a slight angle. I would say even 20 to 30 degrees down from perpendicular to the body, okay? So just try to see if you can picture this. I'm in a stooped position. My hand is going to go directly out to the side 90 degrees. Where I want to finish here is probably in this position, right? It is actually what's called a scapular plane, where the shoulder blade is going to move really comfortable, okay? So it's below perpendicular to my body. See, if I'm bending over, it's not here, it's actually there. So when I do the movement as such, I'm not going to go direct to the side, I'm going to go slightly back when I do it. And that's with both arms, looking for a long neck and a quality per side, 30 to 60 seconds in a general time frame for it. Only a couple of sets needed. Where this gets thrown into program design, because it's a single joint activity, I would put it into an upper body pulling or retraction activity, and I would put it on the back end, right? Because remember, in program design, we have more multiple joint, more intense pieces up front, and then we have smaller muscles and smaller stuff done towards the back end. So for beginners, intermediates, you want to put this is like D1, right? Or C2, right? It's a complementary activity to anything that's forward pushing, right? Or even squatting activities are a good mixer with this. I can't believe I said mixer. You can superset with it, okay? It's not like a party, reverse delts with a, just kind of funny thought. And I lost my train of thought based upon that. Oh yeah, and you also want to do this possibly as an opener or an activation drill for more advanced people. So for individuals who need to relax their upper trap, right, and they need some rhomboid or mid-back activation, this actually can be like pre-A, where they're in the warm-up room or before they're doing some lifting, and they can do some reverse flies for the purpose of just activating that upper back effectively, okay? And for those individuals, that exercise is not really a great supporting activity for most of them who I'm classifying in that advanced territory, unless they're doing some specific, non-functional hypertrophy, quasi-bodybuilding, body shaping, and they really want to just knock the crap out of a muscle. It may be an effective exercise to do where you do strip sets. And what I mean by that is if it's for an advanced person, you're doing it for those reasons, non-functional hypertrophy, bodybuilding, just want to kick the shit out of the muscle. Do 8 repetitions that are fairly challenging. Immediately drop the load, pick up a lighter load, and do another 8 repetitions with the lighter load, and then drop that load, and then you pick up the lightest load and you do another 8 repetitions. So you're basically just smashing the muscle. You'll get a great pump, and you'll actually use those guys outside of their functional pattern, but it may be a good, finisher for some folks who are in that category. So that's the reverse dumbbell fly or bent over flies. If you got any questions, just post them underneath the comments. Don't forget the time under tension, the length of the lever, the positioning of the body, and remember it is presented in a stooping pattern, and it's not really heavy stooping, but just remember that people are in that bent pattern when they do it, so make sure you mix it with an exercise that's going to complement it, non-gripping, non-upper pulling activity, because that's actually what it is in its shape and form. So I hope that helps. Let me know if I can answer any of your questions on it.